Passmore, good work. Thank you. We'll take a short break.
But it's too dark now to read.
Okay, welcome back to the campaign with Ernie Powell. That was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
That was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the two people that we had on today. Number one, we had a person who has dedicated their life to this institution, and that institution is the vessel for social change. It's just one little building on 2nd and Hill in Santa Monica, and what goes in and out of that building are change makers, our leaders, our organizers, are people that are challenging the culture, challenging historic racism in this country, fighting for affordable housing. And that little building that she has is committed day and night to that. And I will tell you that I've seen her work. I'm talking about Janet McKeithen, Reverend Janet McKeithen. I've seen the work she does, and it's a marvel. And I'm so pleased that she was with us. And I hope that folks that listen to the show will give their support to the church in Ocean Park. The second guest we had on today, and I've seen the work that he does, is one of the best leaders in Sacramento on fighting for a segment of the population that even though we think they're well represented, they're really not. I mean, people don't know the kinds of levels of poverty that are increasing for seniors in California. As he said, we have the second highest poverty rate in the entire country. And these programs, whether it's helping somebody put their diapers on, I mean, they cut diapers for seniors, whether it's helping somebody with their teeth or their glasses, for folks that have worked all their lives to build this state and to have the state walk away and abandon that social contract it's a moral abrogation. And to know the great work that Gary Passmore does in the Congress of California Seniors is really good. So I'm hoping that folks that are listening will give support to the Congress of California Seniors and the work that he does in Sacramento. I want to spend a minute before we wrap up today talking about the shows we're going to be doing in the coming weeks. It's guess what? It's election cycle one more time. So we have the midterms in November. We're going to be talking to various candidates. We're going to be lining up Sheila Kuehl, who's running for the Board of Supervisors. We're going to be lining up here in Los Angeles County. We're going to be talking to Pete Aguilar, who's running for a very, very important House seat out in San Bernardino. And we're going to be, and other sort of candidates, both local and state and federal, that are going to be presenting their case to the voters so that we can get their perspective, so that they can also answer on some of the problems that we talk about on this show from the organizers that fight on those issues. We're also going to be scheduling John Bauman. Now, John Bauman is somebody that we all know as Bowser from Sha Na Na, but he happens to be my working colleague in an organization that has started about half a year ago called Senior Votes Count. And John is one of the most articulate political folks that I know, and he's right now running around the country doing endorsements of progressive candidates, and he'll be coming on the show as well to talk about the election cycle and some of the challenges, particularly at the federal level, that voters need to be thinking about. But once again, the emphasis here is to teach technique and to teach the skill of campaign organizing. We're not just an issue-based show, although we use issues as a bridge or a segue to talk about how this work gets done. And I think in having Gary Passmore with us today, who is one of the best professionals I've ever seen as a lobbyist and as an organizer in Sacramento, and then also having Janet on from the church in Ocean Park, Janet McKeithen, who is leading others at the church and building community and fighting for civil rights issues, fighting for LGBT rights, fighting for housing issues, et cetera, et cetera. I know I learned a lot, and I think that they were very much an asset to what we want to do. Comments from my colleagues, Carl and Jake?
Just keep the fight up. Yeah, absolutely. We posted all those links on the Campaign with Ernie Powell on Facebook. You guys can follow us, Radio Titans, on Facebook, or keep up with Ernie that way.
Okay, good. We'll also be we'll be doing In My Time segments, and in the coming weeks I'll be talking about an interesting news twist on the history of Social Security reform. We're also going to, as I've mentioned 2 or 3 times, invite Marv Schachter, who goes back a lot of years and once worked with Eleanor Roosevelt on some civil rights issues and other really good and interesting things that we can learn from. So once again, thank you for joining us today, and once again, thank you for listening in to the Campaign with Ernie Powell. We'll talk to you next week.
The empty desert was burned in the heat, but the road I must travel, its end I cannot see. Well, I crossed the frozen wasteland, in the bitter cold did freeze, and the road I must travel,